Welcome to our first masterclass in April. Today, we are starting a new series. We are going to be doing a session on marketplaces. The first marketplace we are looking at is Lazada, and we will be doing more of these sessions on marketplaces. Specifically, what you can expect in the upcoming months is sessions on Shopee, sessions on Qten, etc. So stay tuned, and please do make sure that you register for these webinars. These are complimentary to all of our Shopmatic and Combined Cell users at this point in time, and we'd love to have you take advantage of these sessions. This is an opportunity for you not just to learn about these various things that we are talking about, but also have an opportunity to talk to us, right? So, and then if there's any queries that you have, etc. We have been running these webinars now for almost 15 months now, and for those of you who have not had the opportunity to join these sessions earlier, just a very quick background to our webinars. We run masterclasses every month, and we bring in an expert from the e-commerce space, and not necessarily from Shopmatic or Combined Cell. We actually bring in our partners from PayPal, from Facebook. We bring in consultants who are sort of like, small business e-commerce experts. Well, we've got a whole bunch of them actually joining us for these webinars, and they are the ones who are presenting. They are bringing, sharing information on what the most current trends are, what are the various products and services that they have that you can leverage to grow your business. These sessions are mostly about how you can grow your business, how you can learn more about concepts on e-commerce, etc. So always a great one to join, and watch out. The emails come to you in every month. I think we send them about like 10 days in advance to a session, so that you're able to plan and register for these in advance, and also a reminder a couple of days in advance as well, so that just in case you missed it. So please do join us. It is about 6:05 right now, and we have quite a few people here already. Perhaps what we will do now is start the session. Before we start, I'm just going to do a quick poll here so that we get some understanding of who you are, and what is your sort of like, status on Lazada at this point in time. And that's going to give us a couple of more minutes to get the late stragglers to join. So let's get the poll launched. Here you go. So the question is, do you have a Lazada store? We'd love to know if you already have a store. This is yes or no answer. And if you don't have, then do you intend to start a Lazada store? We'd love to know that as well, so that we are able to get the CAMs to speak with you and assist you on getting your Lazada store up and running if you're already using our services on Combined Cell or Shopmatic. All right, so we're getting the answers coming in. About 50% of you have actually said that you already have a Lazada store, which is fantastic, because then, we really hope that today's session is going to be very useful for you. We do have about 30% saying that they don't have, and about 30% saying, oh, well, the numbers have changed a little bit because more people are answering. Otherwise, it doesn't add up, does it? So about 40 people have now said that they have a Lazada store, and 30% have said they don't have a store, and 30% intend to start a store, which is, always great news, because we really want to help our merchants to open up as many channels as we can, whether it's through services or through integrations that we offer, so that you can start selling on all of these various multiple channels. All right. Okay. I think we will close the poll at this point in time. So I'm going to end it. Okay, fantastic. So we are going to now officially kick off the sort of like session. Let me take a few minutes to introduce my colleague here. Her name is Arushi, and she is actually going to be walking us through the content today, which is all about, like I said, just to reiterate, marketing tools and tips specifically focused on Lazada and the Seller Center dashboard and the various sort of like campaign opportunities, etc., that are there. Will be extremely useful regardless of what stage of business that you're in. You're someone who's just started, or someone who's been like doing business already on e-commerce, or a reasonably mature seller on Lazada. We think that there will be some content that you could really use in this particular session, and we're more than happy to have you raise questions with us. We do have on standby a few other of our colleagues who are sort of like experts on our marketplaces, who will be able to help us answer the questions as well. So as always, some house rules. So please raise your questions in the Q&A. You will see a Q&A button on your menu, and that's a place to raise it. The session should roughly take us about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and then we do have about 10, 15 minutes or longer if it takes to make sure that we answer every question that you have for us. Okay. Okay. So without much further ado, let's get this thing started. Arushi, we have one more poll to run, isn't that right? Okay. Okay. Fantastic. I'm going to run the second poll because this also helps us to give a little bit of get us a little bit of understanding on what are the challenges you're facing. The poll is launched now, so please do take a minute to answer this. This is a multiple choice question, so you, of course, can choose more than one answer here. So the question is, and just for everyone's benefit, I'm just going to quickly read this out. What are your challenges as a seller on Lazada? Is it getting more visitors to your store? Is it increasing sales on your store? Is it knowing what marketing tools are available on Lazada? Or is it deciding what marketing objectives you should have on your store? Or is it about finding out what business insights the Lazada Seller Center gives you so that you're able to understand and take continuously strong data-driven sort of like decisions for your business, right? And all of which is important. So we are having people are responding already. We have a lot of people are saying that the primary need is how to increase sales on your store on Lazada. Fantastic. And we have the second sort of like top choice that people are raising as challenges is not knowing what marketing tools are available on Lazada. Okay, I think we have that covered today. So that should be good. And finding out what business insights, fantastic. So I think that's another thing that we'll be covering off for certainly today. Okay. I'm going to give another minute for those of you who have not yet responded on the poll, because I still see about 30% haven't responded. So I do urge you to please share your answers, because this will help us to not just ensure that today we are, at least addressing these challenges that you've raised. And if you don't have answers, we want to certainly make sure that our CAMs are sort of, able to get on a call with you or meet you as required and ensure these challenges are addressed. And, collectively, we are finding solutions for you to be able to get onto these marketplaces and sell on these marketplaces. All right. So most people have answered now. So we will end the poll now, and it's at 6:10 right now. Perfect time to get the session started. Would you like to share your screen now, Rishi? I'm going to stop the share now. So we have here someone from Soap Ministry. Fantastic. Great to have you. Okay, I'm going to go on mute and stop my video. Thank you.
Thank you, Amma, and thank you everyone for coming to the webinar today. And I hope you'll find it useful. I understand that many of you have a lot of challenges when it comes to selling on Lazada. So let's begin. So just to start, all information is valid as of this month, and obviously it may change in the future months depending on what Lazada puts out. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. I'm having a bit of technical issues.
Want to switch back and try to stay?
Yeah, I'll just stop it and then share again.
No worries.
Okay, not working. Sorry, just a second. Just 1 second, sorry. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, now we can begin, sorry. So to begin with, we'll just look at the agenda. So firstly, we're going to cover the dashboards that you can find on Lazada, as well as the key metrics. Next, we'll look into the ways that you can increase traffic and sales. Then we'll move on to the marketing tools available on Lazada. And I understand that many of you want to know more about this, so hopefully you'll find this helpful. And then we'll end with tips for sellers at different growth stages. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to look at the dashboard and key metrics. So we'll start by looking at your business advisor, which you can find in your seller center, and then move into the different dashboards that Lazada gives you, such as your main dashboard, your traffic dashboard, and then we'll end with the service dashboard. Okay, so where do you find your business advisor? So it's very simple. You just log into your seller center, and over here on the left, you can see this button that takes you to business advisor. So you just click on that, and then you'll be redirected to your main dashboard. And up here, you can see that you can see the different dashboards. So you can see the traffic dashboard, the product dashboard, promotion, and so on. So the purpose of Business Advisor is to give you insight into the metrics regarding your store. So you'll be able to see all sorts of data related to your campaigns, different promotions that you hold, as well as your everyday data and real-time data as well. So which products are doing the best and which promotions are doing well for your store. So it really gives you an insight onto how to even better your store and different methods that you can use in terms of marketing to increase your sales and traffic. What's really good is that it also gives you important insights by product. So you can view data based on each product, so you can see which products are doing well and which products are not doing so well. So over here is just an overview of the different dashboards that you have available on Lazada Seller Center. So I've covered this before and you can see it once more. So it's the dashboard, traffic, product, sponsored services, promotion, and service. So we'll begin by looking at the main dashboard. So here are some of the key metrics that you will be able to see on the page itself. So you can see your real-time ranking. So you can actually choose by what metric you want to see it by. So you can rank your products by revenue, by visitors, by the units sold, as well as the by add to cart units. And this is all real time, so you can see it how it is at the moment rather than see what it was like last month, for example. You also get metrics on the number of page views, your buyers, your visitors, as well as metrics on the number of orders and units sold. So this all really contributes to giving you insights on how you can choose your marketing tactics when it comes to selling on Lazada. So over here, we just have a few screenshots of what you'll see when you go onto your main dashboard. So you can see your live monitor over here, and you can see the real-time revenue, but you can also compare it to the week itself, as well as yesterday. So if, for example, you introduced a promotion today and you want to see if it increased your revenue compared to yesterday, it gives you a really quick and easy way to do that. And you can also see a few shop key metrics, such as, the units sold or the number of orders that you have. Another useful thing is that you can actually change the time period of the metrics that you see. So for example, you can see data based on the last month or on the last week, or even just yesterday. You can also choose, for example, just to see data in January. If you want to see if a certain campaign was more effective than a campaign run in another month, you can see data based on these different time periods to understand which ones were most effective for your store. So another part of the main dashboard is you can see snapshots of different aspects. So over here, you can see the product dashboard. It just gives you a quick summary of your SKUs and how they're doing. You can also see their ranking by the number of visitors. So that's your traffic as well as the revenue. And this will obviously go more into detail when you go into the product dashboard itself. You can also see the promotions snapshot. So you can see how different promotions did, as well as the average order value and the average basket size with these promotions. And once again, you can go into detail for these promotions themselves on the promotion dashboard. Now we come on to the next dashboard, which is traffic. So traffic is all about the people who visited your store, regardless of whether they bought it or not, but it's more about making your store be known. So Lazada gives you these metrics, which are quite useful, such as the conversion. So this is the number of visitors who actually bought something from your store, as well as metrics such as new followers, visitors, unfollows. So these are all important for example, establishing your customer loyalty. So if you have a lot of new followers, that means that the customer loyalty for your business is growing. You can also see the traffic to individual products, so you can understand which product is your traffic generator and which products you might want to increase promotions for to generate more traffic for them. You can also see traffic by page, so you can see different product pages, your home page, and see metrics for these such as the click-through rate, the number of clicks on the page itself. So you can understand if, for example, you lay out a page differently to another page, you can compare these metrics to understand which organizational method is better for your pages. So over here, we just have a few screenshots from the traffic dashboard. So over here, you can see I've chosen it for the last 30 days. So this is all of the traffic over the last 30 days itself. So you can see the number of visitors and the traffic to products, as well as the conversion. And then over here, you can see the traffic by page. And what's interesting is you can see if more people viewed it by mobile or from their PC. And you can also see it for each individual page. So you'd be able to understand the click-through rate for each page and look at your home page and look at your product pages. So another thing you can see on the traffic dashboard is the source. So over here, you can see that it gives you the keywords that people searched in order to reach your store. And this is actually a really important marketing tool that you can use for your store itself. So for example, if you see that baby singlet over here is a keyword that generated a lot of visitors, you might choose to include that keyword into your product title or your product description. You can also see if it came from other means. So from the Lazada birthday sale or from different campaigns, just to understand like where your visitors are coming from. Yeah, what's really good here is you can see the trend as well. So you can compare it on different days. So for example, if it was a campaign day, you may see a spike in the number of visitors that you have, for example. Next, we're going on to the product dashboard. So over here, you get metrics such as the conversion rate again, buyers, revenue. You also get to see the add to cart visitors as well as wish list visitors. So if you see that you have a lot of add to cart, but not as many orders, you may choose to decrease your shipping fee or offer free shipping. If you see a lot of wish list products, you may choose to introduce promotions because you know that customers may want to buy them, but for some reason are hesitant. So it's all about finding out what would incentivize your customers to purchase. You also get metrics on the visitor value and the product page value. So this is just the number of visitors that you have on your product page. So you can again use this to see which product is your traffic generator, which products you need to improve traffic for example. So yeah, so over here you can see the product dashboard. So you can see the real-time ranking. You can choose it by visitors, by revenue, by units sold, or by add to cart units. And within this, you can also see different metrics such as the add to cart visitors, the page views, and so on. So you can choose this to view by product or by SKU, and use this data to for example, select products that you want to put through for a campaign. You can also see individual product details as seen in the picture on the right. So you get the metrics only for that product itself. So you can see how the page views changed over time. So for example, if you chose a certain product to be used in a flash sale, you can view data just for that product and maybe just for that day to understand how effective the flash sale was for your sales and your traffic. Next, we come on to sponsored services. So this is if you choose to take part in sponsored services, you'll have access to this dashboard and you get different metrics such as the spend. So this is the amount of money that you would spend on the sponsored services. And you can see the revenue that you gain, the units sold, as well as the ROI, which is your return on investment. So this is essentially how much you gain from investing in sponsored services. So this is just a screenshot of the dashboard that you'd be able to see. So you can see their estimated ROI is 1000%. So sponsored services did work out pretty well for this example. Now we come on to the promotion dashboard. So the dashboard itself is split into 4 different parts. So there are 4 different dashboards that you can see, and they're based on the 4 different types of promotions that are available on Lazada. So you can see voucher performance, you can see free shipping, you can see the flexi combo, and you can see the campaign performance. And for each of these, they have different metrics associated with them. So firstly, for the promotion, as you can see over here, you can choose to either view the campaign metrics based on the campaign period itself or the teasing period, which is the time right before the campaign. So you may want to see if you're building traffic during the teasing period. And if not, you may want to think about introducing some new or different marketing tactics. You can also choose if you want to see data based on the campaign products only or for your entire store. So this would help you in understanding if selecting a few products for a campaign, if that means that more visitors would come to your store and then they'd be interested in other products in your store as well. So these three are the different dashboards for the voucher, for free shipping, and for flexi combo. So that's really good because you can see the different promotions and how effective each of them are. So you can also compare each of these different promotions if you want and see which one's more effective for your store. If your goal is to increase traffic, which one's better for that? Or if your goal is to increase sales, which promotion's better for that? So now we come onto the service dashboard, which is essentially your chat. And it gives you metrics such as the number of guided buyers and guided revenue. So this is the buyers and the revenue that you get as a result of chatting with them. Then you can also see the non-responded customers. So that's the number of customers you haven't replied to. And as a result, the estimated lost revenue. So this is given to you, but just for understanding the meaning of this is the way they do it is that they do the number of customers who didn't get a response times the revenue per guided buyer, and this is divided by the chat guided conversion rate. So within the service dashboard, you do get a few metrics that are calculated, such as the inquiry rate, the response rate, and the conversion rate. So you'd really want to make sure that your response rate is quite high just because you want to ensure a smooth buying experience for your customers. So over here is the service dashboard. So you can see how it goes from visits down to orders paid. And you can view these metrics. And then you can also see if you have multiple agents on your account, you can see metrics for each agent to understand who's doing well in what case. So that was an overview on the dashboards and the key metrics available on Lazada. And now we'll move on to the next section, which is ways to increase traffic and sales. So we've broken this down into two parts. So it's via product listing or via store. And this is for traffic and then for sales. So to increase your traffic through product listing, one tip will be to make sure your products are price competitive. So given that this is a marketplace where consumers have multiple different options, you'd want to make sure that your product is differentiated from others and you want to offer a price that's not much more expensive than other products, and make sure it's competitive so customers trust your product and they're incentivized to purchase from you. Another thing would be to add in your key product attributes. It is a Lazada statistic that having your key product attributes makes it 2 times more likely to be found by buyers. So you'd want to do this to increase your traffic. Another thing would be to make sure that your title and keywords match the search terms, because the ranking algorithm does take into account how your chosen product category aligns with the product itself. Next, you want to ensure you choose the right keywords and only choose a few relevant ones. If you add too many, it may confuse the search algorithm, it may confuse your customers. So just make sure you choose a few relevant ones and include these in your product title, your product description, the title of your product images, for example. And lastly, to increase traffic, you'd want to upload catchy product images, and you'd want to make sure that these are of good quality so you don't look like untrustworthy. You want to make sure that your customers can buy your products and trust that what they're buying is legitimate and professional. So next, to increase traffic via your store, the first tip will be to offer free shipping. Obviously, a lot of us from our own personal experience would understand that sometimes a shipping fee, even if it's not that high, it may disincentivize you from buying a product. So perhaps offer free shipping, especially if you see that you have a lot of add to cart visitors, but not as many conversions. Next would be to anticipate unanswered questions that customers may have on the product page itself. This is just so you can ensure that your customers don't have questions that they're not really bothered to ask, because they know that they can find the same thing on another store. So this is all just to ensure that they have a good buying experience. Next would be to ensure your items are in stock. So the last thing you would want is for a customer to go onto your store and want to buy something, but it's not available, because that would result in a lost sale for you. Next, you'd want to highlight on your return, warranty, and customer satisfaction. This again is just to make your store more trustworthy and again, incentivize your customers to buy from you, make them trust you more and be willing to purchase from you. Lastly, to increase traffic, you'd want to offer discounts and promotions. This is human nature, I guess. Like you'd want to go to a store that offers you a lot of discounts and promotions. If you compare to another store where they may not be offering these things, you'd usually go for a store that gives you these promotions. So next, in terms of increasing sales via product listing, you'd want to increase your content score. So to do this, you'd firstly want to add your key product attributes, as well as including at least 3 product images. You want to write a product description that's not too long, and you want to emphasize on your unique attributes to differentiate your products from others on other stores. Next, you also want to have good product ratings and reviews. This is again just to make customers trust your store more, and then to make them not so skeptical about purchasing from you. So it is another Lazada statistic that sellers with an average product rating of 4 to 5 stars generate 3.5 times more traffic than others. So by increasing your traffic, you can hope to have more conversions and therefore have more sales. Next, again, looking at the ranking algorithm, it's affected by your sales in the last 7 days and 30 days. So when you introduce new products, you may want to add in promotions and discounts with these. So you can start off your products by having high sales, so they would stay higher up in the ranking algorithm throughout their lifetime. Lastly, would be to participate in campaigns such as the mega campaign or special promotions such as flash sales, which would drive more traffic to your store and incentivize visitors to buy more, therefore increasing your sales. So to increase your sales via the store, firstly would be to drive traffic to your store. So these can be done in the methods mentioned previously. You can also aim to improve your seller rating, and you can do this through methods such as giving your customers a good customer experience and giving them vouchers and rewards so they're more inclined to leave a rating for you. Also make sure to constantly update your inventory, because as mentioned before, you don't want to lose out on a sale because you had an item out of stock. Lastly, you can also use social media tools such as Facebook and Instagram to market your store. So make sure that you have your store link on your social media, and perhaps post stories on Instagram, on Facebook, showcasing your new products and different promotions that you have, so they can easily just click on the link and be redirected to your Lazada store. So now we're coming on to the next section, which is the different marketing tools available on Lazada. So we have a few over here, which I will go into detail now. So first, we're going to be looking at the campaigns. So this is the general eligibility for campaigns. Once again, this is valid as of now. And for specific campaigns, they may have different qualifications. But in general, these are the eligibility that you would need to reach to participate in the different campaigns. So to access campaigns, you can do so from your seller center. You can go from promotions and then click on campaign, and then you're redirected to the campaigns page. So over here, you can see that they have the 3 different types of campaigns, which is the mega campaign, the daily sales, and the special promotions. So within that, you can see the available campaigns, the registered campaigns, and the ineligible campaigns. So for this store, which sells baby clothes, you can see that they are available for these 2 campaigns related to babies. And on the page itself, you can choose to join, and it gives you the timing of the campaigns. So an overview on the 3 different types of campaigns that Lazada has. So first is the mega campaign. So you can use this to increase your brand awareness, your seller and product rating, and your shop visibility and sales. Examples of this are 12/12, 11/11, the Lazada birthday, which are all pretty highly publicized events. They're pretty big on Lazada, so it would be a good opportunity to increase your exposure. The next are the daily sales campaigns, which would increase your visibility and sales. So this includes the flash sale, brand mega offer, as well as everyday low price. Next, we have the special promotions campaign. So this would include pre-sale, slash it, group buy. So they all offer you a higher chance of traffic to your store because, for example, group buy, you get a discount if a certain number of users want to buy the product. So you would increase your traffic and conversion on that selected product. And hopefully by increasing traffic to that product, you would also increase traffic to your store. Next, we have chat support. And it's actually one of the features that Lazada uses to determine how much traffic is allocated to your store, as well as your campaign eligibility. So you'd want to make sure that your chat response time is not too long. So you can use this for different functions. So for example, pre-sale marketing to promote new products, or if you're about to close a sale, you might want to upsell or cross-sell. So suggest different products to your visitor in addition to the one they've chosen, as well as using chat for after-sale services such as warranty or customer satisfaction to check how happy they were with their product. So if you have a lot of chats, you may want to prioritize them if you don't have enough time to respond to all of them in one go. So the first would be inquiry about the product or the store itself. Second would be inquiries about payment or order handling. And lastly would be the other inquiries. So a tip would be to set up auto replies for commonly asked questions using the Lazada I Am Shop Assistant, also known as Lisa. So this is just easier for you and for the customer itself. So they don't have to wait for a long time to get a response for you from you, because that means they may switch over to a competitor store and buy from them instead. So the key is to provide proactive chat support and send immediate responses. Aim to reply within 30 minutes, but ideally 10 minutes, just to make it very efficient and give them more incentive to purchase from you. Chat can also be used to increase your customer retention. So this would help because you'd use the chat to give them that smooth buying experience. So they're more likely to be buying from you again if they had a good experience the first time. Lastly, make sure that you have informed chat agents if you're not doing it yourself, because you want to make sure that customers are given the right information and don't feel deceived by wrong information that you give them. Next, we come on to the customer engagement management tool. So this is a very useful tool, but there is an eligibility criteria. So you'd have to qualify for that first. So the purpose of the CEM tool is so that you can initiate chats with leads and customers, but you can do so by different segments. So you can send messages for unpaid reminders. You can send messages to followers who haven't purchased in the last 30 days. And with this, you can actually send them vouchers or discounts to incentivize them to purchase. You can also send messages to customers who have an item in the cart, but they haven't checked out yet. So you may choose to offer them free shipping to persuade them to buy your product. And last would be the review reminder. So this is to customers who received a product of yours, but they haven't left a review. So you can send them a message. You can also offer them a voucher or a discount. This would help in both increasing your seller rating, but it would also increase customer retention because you gave them that voucher. So a couple of tips for sending messages would be to use keywords. You don't want to send a very long message or a very confusing message. You want to get your point across quickly, so customers are more likely to read your message. You should personalize it, add maybe an emoji, make it more personalized to them so they feel like they're talking to you specifically rather than just being one out of 100 people, for example. And to include product images if you have a newly launched product. Next, we come on to the sponsored solutions. Again, there is an eligibility criteria, so you'd have to be qualified for this. There are 3 different solutions that Lazada offers, but it should be noted that sponsored display is not available yet. So first, there's sponsored affiliate. So this will be good for increasing your online presence, increasing your brand exposure, because you get to access Lazada's affiliates. It could be in the form of banners, content, product listings, and it's good because you only pay for a conversion. So you'd only pay every time someone bought your product rather than paying for all of the time that your ad was shown on affiliates. Next, we have sponsored discovery. So this would help grow your product visibility and sales because you'd have increased exposure on the Lazada app or the website. And once again, you'd only pay for a click. So you'd only have to pay every time someone clicked on your product rather than paying for the entire time that you were using sponsored discovery. Last is sponsored display, which, as I mentioned, is not available yet. So you would build your brand awareness, you'd reach a lot of people through this and secure impressions. And again, you can control how much you spend on this by setting a budget. So you can reach out to your key account manager for guidance on what solutions are best for your store, because it may depend on the different type of store that you have. So we have a few keyword tips here. So these keywords can be used in your titles, in your product descriptions, for example. So first, when choosing your keywords, you'd want to think about what customers are searching for. Think about how many people are searching for them, in what form do people search for them in, because you'd want to align with what the customer is searching for, because that way your product would show up on the search page. Next, you want to include both short and long tail keywords. So short keywords are good for increasing awareness, but there is a high competition because a lot of people will be using it. So the chances of being ranked quite highly is possibly very low. And long tail keywords are longer. They're made up of at least 4 words, and they're more specific. So the chances of ranking higher are hopefully higher because there are not as many people who would be having the exact same product name as yours. So for example, a short keyword may be watch, but a long tail keyword would be dark blue leather wristwatch. So the chances of ranking higher on dark blue leather wristwatch would be higher because the chances of more people having that same keyword in their product title is lower. And this way you would also target customers who are looking for exactly your product. So the third tip would be to conduct A/B testing to see the effectiveness of different keywords on your store traffic and sales. So you may want to change the keywords on your product title and then see which one generates more traffic and sales for you. So now for conversion rate optimization, a few tips here. So first will be to use Lisa, the automatic chat assistant, to have an automatic chat response to allow you to reply later. So this way you can reply quickly to your customers, but also get the chance to respond properly later. And you can also reward them for leaving product reviews. Next would be to give exclusive discounts to followers only. So you can try and advertise this to everyone. And by having such good discounts for your followers, you may incentivize non-followers to start beginning following your store. The third tip will be to have different store layouts. And again, do A/B testing to see which layout gets more sales, which layout gets more traffic, and the conversion rate to see if there is a difference that store layout may have on your key metrics. So that was the marketing tools available on Lazada. And now we'll go on to our last section, which is the tips for sellers at different growth stages. So we'll begin by looking at different stages and then a few tips for each of them. So the first stage is the new sellers. So your marketing objectives may be to increase your traffic and sales to begin with. For growth sellers, you may be looking at conversion rate as well as traffic and sales. Whereas for the mature sellers, you may want to be increasing the number of followers on your store, your customer loyalty, your conversion rate, and again, your sales. So for new sellers whose aims are to increase traffic and sales, a few tips would be firstly to conduct competitor analysis. As mentioned before, selling on a marketplace means that you have a lot of competitors. So customers have a variety of choice of where to buy from. You'd want to know how you're differentiated from other products and use this as your unique selling point. And be sure to include that in your product description, in your price, as well as your store itself. Secondly, would be to participate in the mega campaigns, which would help in your brand exposure, help bring traffic to your store. You'd also want to participate in special promotions such as group buy and slash it. As I explained before, this would again build traffic for the selected products and also increase your sales. The fourth tip would be to participate in flash sales. And a tip for this would be to use products that have really high traffic. So look at your product dashboard, look at your traffic dashboard, and understand which one of your products are the ones that are generating the most traffic, and introduce this in the flash sales, because this must mean that they are quite liked or more people want to buy them, and you'd see success from the flash sales. The next tip will be to choose the right keywords to include in your product title and description. Like I said before, maybe have a long tail keyword just so the chances of being found are higher, and you are seen by customers who have a more specific search. Last tip will be to consider investing in sponsored solutions. This is just so your store is more likely to be found. It can increase your impressions and increase your brand visibility. Next is the growth sellers, whose aims will be to increase conversion rate, traffic, and sales. So the first tip, similar to before, would be to participate in flash sales and mega campaigns. You'd also want to increase your content score just to help you with the ranking algorithm and make you more easily found on Lazada. The third tip will be to conduct A/B testing to understand what works for your store. So it doesn't have to be on the keywords or the store layout. It could be on having different vouchers, having different product titles, whatever you want to test. The fourth tip will be to collect Lazada seller coins and redeem rewards. So you can see this through your seller center itself. You can collect coins doing different tasks, and you may unlock some rewards, such as perhaps a new module on your store layout. The fifth tip would be to participate in special promotions such as group buy or slash it. Once again, drive traffic and therefore increase your conversion rate. And the last tip would again be to invest in sponsored solutions if this is something that you're willing to do, to increase your search rank as well as brand visibility. So lastly, we come to the mature sellers, where you'd want to increase the followers, the conversion rate, customer loyalty, as well as sales. So the first tip will be to optimize your conversion rate using the tips mentioned before. So for example, setting up Lisa, doing A/B testing. A second tip would be to take advantage of the CEM tool if you're eligible. This way you can target different segments and offer vouchers to different groups to incentivize them to purchase more. The third tip would be to participate in promotions and campaigns. Fourth tip would be to conduct A/B testing. So as you can see, it could be quite useful to your store to conduct A/B testing to see how effective different things are in building traffic and sales. The fifth tip would be to offer loyalty programs and rewards to customers. This is so you can increase your customer retention and provide a better buying experience. This would also help in increasing your followers and obviously your customer loyalty. The last tip would be to invest in sponsored solutions again, if this is something that you would want to do. to increase your rank and make your brand well known. So now just a little way to do A/B testing on your store. So the first step would be to create variations of the same item. So for example, you may want to have 2 different store layouts, 2 different product names, 2 different voucher names. So the next step would be to put up, for example, store layout. So you'd want to put up one store layout for a week or a month, and then the next week or the next month, put up a different store layout. So then you can compare the metrics for these 2 different time periods and understand which one was more effective in generating traffic and sales. So to do this, you can look at your business advisor and look at the dashboard such as traffic, product, just to understand which one is more effective for your store. So you'd want to make sure that you run each one for the same amount of time, just to ensure that you get as accurate information as possible. Obviously, there will be external factors that affect this, such as a public holiday maybe, but this is the closest that you can get to understand. So this could be an exercise for you to do later on. Go try A/B testing and understand what store layout's better or what product title is better. So just to say that the metrics mentioned before is not the complete list of metrics available on Lazada. You also have all of these metrics available that are very easy to find on the dashboards themselves. Yes, thank you.